Alright, let us pod. Nope. Live stream. So bad. I thought it was going to play.
I'm all in character and everything.
Sorry.
Okay. Just need to get this mic a bit closer. A broken and worn out sign hangs above an uninteresting door in a darkly lit alley. The light above the door flickers just enough to see a percentage symbol on the sign, and you know this is the place. You knock on the door and a small hatch opens. A gruff voice says, "Where are you from?" You know the reply immediately. "Closeby," you say, mustering as much suave confidence as you can manage. The hatch slides closed with a satisfying clink, and after what feels like an eternity later, the door opens slowly. As it does, smoke wafts around your ankles. There seems to be no one attached to the voice you just heard behind the door, only a small bar with 4 red velvet covered booths against the walls. Dirty mirrors fill the rest of the space, and a well-stocked, yet compact bar in the corner. You look around and there's only one booth occupied. 2 of the coolest cats you know. Kirsty, they call her Fast Draw. Nothing to do with guns. She has an artistic hand. She says...
Sup, doll?
The other person is Scott. He's Twitch Daddy. He runs the show around here, keeps everything and everyone on the right track. He says...
Didn't think we'd see you again.
The only other person in the place is the barman, standing quietly pouring what looks like a bright green cocktail into a martini glass. You recognise him too, for that barman is me, Goose. Welcome to the hippest bar in town. Welcome to the percentage game. What can I get you?
I love it.
Yes!
Oh my god, I get goosebumps. Oh, nice. That was so good.
Oh, wow.
I really enjoyed that. Also, we're just going to keep this music going for as long as
Oh, how cool is this music?
Yeah.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, I know the story. So
Wow, so in character, especially with that hair. That
yeah, no,
haircut.
that's what I thought as well. It's like people are going to think this is for it. Like,
God, I get taken away.
Oh, it was so good.
I'm glad you all stayed in character. Also, really glad. I had to look away from you at the door opening bit.
Ah, that was really good.
I could happily have this on for the rest of the podcast. Honestly, I think it's the coolest music. We have to give a shout out. Have we got the credits?
We're done.
Let's make sure the credits are there.
That's the credits there.
There we go. Credits.
There we go. Science to Nowhere by Shane Ivers.
Yes, because we can use his music with as long as we credit the person. So thank you very much. I need to give him a shout out because that's been like there's so many little like clips I want to use now. So yeah.
There we go. Intro's just taken to the next level.
Oh.
Just set the bar.
Well, welcome to the percentage game. I hope you're all ready for some. I hope that's everyone feeling like the scene is set, and now we're doing this in a kind of speakeasy in this sort of
Yeah, I might take up smoking.
I quite enjoy the thought of a sign, just a percentage sign as a sign for your bar. Like,
Yeah.
And it's called the percentage game. Yeah. I had it full on. Oh, it should have been a neon flickering. That would have been class. I didn't think about that. But yeah, welcome along. I hope you're all very excited to play to play along with the percentage game, because what we've got here is an interactive recording that we're doing. If you don't realise that we're live in front of a live sort of studio audience, Scott and I are sitting across from each other.
Yes. Yeah, that just shattered the illusion there. So
No. We're sitting sort of either side of the booth, and Kirsty's joining us virtually beside the booth.
Mm-hmm.
I've come and joined the booth at this point. I've made the drinks, and I've said, yeah, I can come and join. And then the fourth person is the audience, who potentially, some of them are listening live, and some people watching live, and some people listening on the recording back. So thanks very much, everyone, for joining us. Please tell your friends. The bar, as much as it sounds like it's a particularly exclusive place, you can get in.
inclusive.
It's
that
very
It is,
inclusive.
yeah.
The
Even
Yeah.
though there's only 4 booths.
Yeah.
Which
Voice character, your name.
Please take a seat.
but yeah, welcome along. We have time for you to finish the game if you're playing live. If not, you can always play for next week. It's live. So whenever you're listening to this, there'll be a percentage game you can play. And the percentage game is fairly straightforward. You get involved.
Yep.
But,
Different questions every week. Percentage doesn't change that much that quick. But yeah, fill it out, get involved, get your answers back to you, and see how you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am excited for this week. After I didn't do too well last week, I don't think.
Yeah.
After winning the last,
I did poorly. Oh, we've also changed up. So you might hear during this that people can redeem things on the live stream. We've changed that up slightly. Scott, do you want to go through how the change up?
oh yeah. So we thought that the pick for a host was just a bit
Overpowered.
Overpowered.
extremely like that was the what's that? I haven't seen Avengers. The guy that clicks. That was the
Thanos?
glove. Yep,
Thanos.
that was Thanos's.
That was
glove.
all jewels in the glove. Was
Yeah.
it jewels is what they were called? No, they're not called jewels.
rubies.
Stones? Infinity
Infinity
Stars.
Stones.
Right. Yeah. So that was
We know things.
we're down with
Marvel, huh?
pop culture. Yes. So that's been taken away. Possibly to return, probably not, because that was just we didn't think it was in the spirit of the game. It was bad call of judgment on my behalf, but we've still got you can still make people draw things, ask quick questions. We've got a pot now that you can draw questions from that people have put in from Instagram and stuff, which we'll probably do every now and then. So keep an eye out if you have a burning quick question that you want to put in there. We've got host right with less dominant hand, and then probably the ones that I'm looking most forward to.
For 5 minutes. That's 1,500.
Well,
Can I choose when the 5 minutes is, or do I have to do it now?
standing?
Yeah.
You have to do it now.
Rubbish. Get that camera up. I didn't dress for this.
Well, you knew it was a possibility. It was a risk.
I didn't know it was 1,500. Scott seems to have an issue with economy.
Well, yes, that's the thing. I definitely do.
Can we do this up a bit more?
Yeah,
It's actually worrying that Louis is in the chat because I feel like we're going to get a lot more of these
yeah,
today.
yeah. And then the ones I'm most excited about is a +5 or a -5% from a host's guess. So you get to choose which host.
Yeah.
You can pick +5 or -5%. I think that's a bit more reasonable than pick, because Russ the other day changed yours from what, a 70 something
70 to
to
7.
7.
Yes, just steamrolled you.
It was like, cool. No worries. Just to be clear, if this comes back to haunt me in the... Because I did the maths afterwards. What?
Sorry, yes, Louis just also redeemed that Scott stands for 5 minutes now as well.
Scott's basically standing.
Yeah, I don't have much to...
Just to be clear, if anyone walks in right now, this would be the weirdest situation to walk into. Just the casual, like 2 guys standing on 2 sides of the desk. Just, like 5 minutes, eh?
All right, thanks for that. We've both got a timer up.
So pleased.
Hopefully there's a cooldown on that.
So what's happened here is we've both been asked to stand by redemption of channel points on the live stream. So now we're standing to this podcast for a while, which, can we please put a timer on? So, there we go.
There's a timer up.
Thanks so much.
Just gonna...
It's good. It's healthy for you. Standing desk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get those
it's good for your
DVDs
legs.
away.
I stand at home sometimes to work, which I quite like, at the kitchen table, or the kitchen counter, which I do enjoy. Also because that's where the big TV is.
Just gonna
Wow.
put a cooldown on that one.
A cool down on, many things, please. So we've got podcast time for you. We're excited to be back together for after a while. It feels like we're back in our stride now at Goose's Quizzes. It feels like things are kind of ticking along at a nice level. We're growing nicely. We've got quite a lot of venues coming board. We've got some plans for the summer. And, this is the time where we get to sit and chat and do our normal chat nonsense. And this is exactly what we want this to be about.
Yep, Friday afternoon wind down for us.
Yeah, it's been a busy few weeks.
Up until now, it's been like sort of a nice little sit down, but 2 of us are not sitting at the moment. So
I'm still having a
thanks so
nice little
much.
sit down.
yeah, you look very comfy.
Oh, yeah.
I am good.
How's the altitude down there?
Nice. Yeah, the weather's great. Yeah.
It feels like I look down at the screen. I can't really see it properly, and I'm just like, Oh, it feels a very different recording now.
Yeah, things feel a little bit weird. But we got 3 and a bit minutes to go.
It's
So
just
that's fine.
3 minutes to kill standing.
That's fine.
Here's the
That's
question, without being inappropriate. What would you rather do standing than sitting? Do you ever stand in the bus by choice?
Sometimes I like trying to not hold on to things
Agreed.
when the bus stops.
Have you been to London recently?
That's psychotic. Sorry. Just why? Warren does that as well. Is it some sort of like masculine energy thing? What's that about?
Yes.
Why?
I
think
Just
it's
hold on.
It's just testing my dynamic stability.
Oh, I thought you were
That's
going to
all
say
it is
just
for me.
testes, but
Just being a lad.
it's just all that testosterone in my body, eh? Like, just
No, I think-
look at me. I have to announce it before I start as well. Like,
Yeah. I'm standing.
everyone, look, no hands.
Watch how many handles I don't touch. No, I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like I like to see how good my balance can be. Sometimes it's just like walking on a curb. Sometimes you walk on a curb or like
Yeah.
That's,
I do
that's
that.
all it is for me. Yeah, there you go.
I'm too nervous to walk on the curb now because I feel like I'll roll my ankle and it'll happen. Like, I'm at that age now where it's like, just put me down.
That's why you got to do it. That's why you got to do it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
If I trip and it's bad, it's like it's over. Just leave me.
But no, why did you ask if I've been in London?
No, because
people
people
do
do
that
that on
in
the
London?
tube. People are very good at it on the tube because everyone knows exactly how like the tubes stop at the different stations, and so know like how aggressively you have to lean the other direction. Because obviously they take the same tube usually, if they're commuting every day.
Yeah.
And they'll go through the same stops, so they can just stand and know how much. I remember trying it once, and I genuinely fell over. Like,
My ankles.
I fell to the point I had to grab one of the poles and put my full weight through my arms, and it's like, that was stupid. And the person I was with was just like, well, why would you try and do that? And she was the exact same. It's like, why did you do that? It's like, well, I thought I would be good enough.
Can't
to
I
do
have my
this.
fun?
Yeah.
Also, I need an ice bag. I need 2 ice bags.
I mean, and the worst thing is everyone looked at me, obviously, who was in the tube carriage, and was like, you're an idiot.
Amateur.
Yeah.
You don't know how the tube stops at this station. Haha.
Yeah, it was so bad. I felt so stupid.
Oh well. But buses are much more unpredictable, much less predictable.
Oh yeah, I went flying on a bus the other day. And the other way around, not for braking. When he put his foot on the accelerator just after I got on the bus, so it was like
God.
I ran for the bus, so I was absolutely hooped. I was up here actually. It was after work. I always run for the bus here. We got on the bus and then paid my thing. And I said something nice to him to be like, "Oh, just made it." Didn't give any response whatsoever, and then just flat-footed straight away. I was like, "Blah!"
I'll show you. That's so annoying. I always get really concerned about older people when they get on the bus.
Yes. Yeah.
Ease up.
Get a
settle
net
down.
out ready almost. Like,
Just stand in the aisle
Yeah.
ready to catch them. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, you can sit down now, Goose. if you
I'm semi-enjoying standing doing this, but I'm not doing it for the rest of it.
want.
I had
got
to
an
run for a
extra
bus the
couple
other day,
seconds.
and the bus, like, the door closed as I got there, and I knocked on the door, and the driver turned, looked at me, and pulled away, and I was like,
No,
no, I'm here, I'm at the door.
I'm doing it. I'm a bus
Yeah.
person. Nah,
Yeah.
can't. Nah, some buses. We all know my issues with buses.
Yeah.
All right, done.
Oh, I've just run over my headphone cable. 2 seconds.
Goose, you're gonna want to look in the chat again. Louis done something else.
No, I put a cooldown on that.
No.
Goose, you have to stand up again.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, pal.
Louis can't do it. I think he said he thought you said you put a cooldown on
I
it.
thought I did.
Well,
I guess
thoughts and
no. It was more than 5 minutes. More than a 5-minute cooldown.
it should be-
Are cooldowns not applicable to mods? Maybe.
that'll be it. Cooldowns are applicable to mods. I
I'm just gonna
bet.
ban Louis then.
Please
All right, you spend it. Better stand.
make it worth more, or give the beans to me. Like into my bean fund
All right, yeah, maybe I'll make that one more.
that I use for, I don't know, randomly giving out beans to people. I really wish you could do things where you play games on the stream and it's suddenly like, and now he's got on a bean vest. It's just like me running through like
beans,
those
beans.
Instagram filters you can get or TikTok filters, where it's like your face, but then it has a whole scene behind you where it's like running.
Yeah.
I want that. Be like, giving out beans.
A bonanza.
Oh, Bonanza. There we go.
There we go. All right. Well, while you stand, you can take us through the percentage game, the rules and things.
The rules. Oh, like the recording or the straight up just tell people. Oh, one thing we do have to discuss is that we're doing the audience average differently now.
Ooh.
Because what's happened is a couple of people have come into the game that are new, which is good. We're excited. But potentially didn't understand the percentage game particularly, or extremely, and put some accurate answers in and some, well, not accurate, but like within the realms. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of like 1s and 2s. And what I basically want to try and filter out is what we're doing is we're using a thing called trim mean, which effectively takes away the top and bottom 5% of the answers and should give a better answer once you've got a broader set of people doing the percentages. So if everyone likes a little bit of maths, here we go.
Which we do.
Yeah. Effectively, you take, if you've got 20 people joined, you would knock off the top and bottom of, you order them all from top to bottom, and you knock off the top one and the bottom one, and you would then take the average of the rest.
Okay. So
That's what
more
we're doing.
accurate.
It effectively makes it the outliers not as aggressive to the overall,
Okay.
which should be a good thing, because some of the outliers,
nature bell curve.
yes, some of the outliers
we're all about.
are potentially mistakes, and that's what I'm trying to
Okay.
help the audience with. And I did do a few tests with it, and generally over the last 2 weeks, it has made it closer than it has made it further away. So,
I don't know about this, Kirsty.
So what I'm hearing is that you're giving the audience an advantage.
hey, look, I'm on the audience's side.
Or advantage.
I want a good adversary here, and the audience have been good so far. But what I'm making them is supercharged.
Yeah.
So,
They're already so good, though.
yeah.
I know.
And if you don't understand what we're talking about here, by the way, is you can get involved in the percentage game. You can guess all the percentages we're going to guess here in the live stream, and you just have to fill in the form. There's one form, five percentages. It's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Just say what percentage of teams you think got it right. And that's one of the key factors here, teams.
I'd say this game is very much like you put in not much effort, but the reward is far outweighs the effort that you put in. Because I mean, well, you can think of each question for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or a day each if you want.
Yeah.
But winning, what a feeling!
And
And it's free as well.
it's free.
No charge.
Exactly. And we make all these
Keep those pennies.
pretty Excel graphics and such.
Yep. Adding to the stream when we can.
You know,
Just
one
standing. It's got
one
another
thing,
minute and a half.
as I'm still standing, by the way, I kind of need to pee. I think when I sit, I don't need to pee as badly. Is that a fact? Is that like,
Gravity, closer to the center of the earth?
I think it's almost opposite for me.
what, if you sit, you need to pee worse than if you stand?
Yeah.
I think the act of standing is a stimulant.
I've definitely not noticed that before. Like,
Same as when you get out of bed and you have to use the bathroom. It's because when you're lying down, you're nice and chill. Your parasympathetic nervous system, I believe it is.
what?
And then things start
Ooh.
moving. Yeah.
Welcome
So maybe
to
that's what it is.
definitely a question that we've had to cut out the quiz before.
Not a doctor.
There was a spate you went through of writing really like intense, like biological and physiological questions. It was like,
That's all I know.
this is a bit too intense, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go into the percentage game, something that we can all enjoy. Where's that playing?
Do your intro again, Goose. Do it again.
Do it. We'll cut this. Not from the
So
video.
we
This is
just have a wee
Not
boogie.
from the video,
We're starting again.
but this is the countdown is still counting for me standing up because I am standing up in real life.
Yeah. But here's a percentage game.
The percentage game runs as follows. There are 5 quiz questions that have been asked to thousands of teams that have taken part in our online and real life pub quizzes. Those competing in the percentage game must guess the percentage of teams that got the answer correct. Whoever gets the closest to the actual percentage gets the most points, and the further away you are, the fewer points you get. The audience answer is taken as an average, and is made up of anyone who's filled out the form prior to the game. The winner after 5 questions is the one with the most points. If you want to contribute to the audience average, keep an eye on the social medias as we will release the entry form with the questions a day before the next podcast recording.
Easy.
Very nice. Sorry, am I not in the right spot anymore?
With all the shifting and moving and upping and downing and
Just like a roller coaster. All right. Goose has taken the helm today.
Yes, although there is something slightly different again. We said it before, but I have competed in today's percentage game because Louis out and was meant to be doing the stream thing today, but he has set up the questions and I did it before I saw the answers.
Playing fair. I like it.
And we can show you the stats. I even marked down when I last opened the file that would have told me what the percentages were. And they weren't even in there. I only saw the percentages for the first time today. So
I trust you.
I roughly know how I've done, but not very well. So you'll see all my percentages come up on the screen as well, which was put in, I think, I did it yesterday morning. So it is there. I'll be competing today as part of the percentage game, but I won't be doing answers and things like that, so it'll just pop up when we do it on screen. But Scott and Kirsty will, so I'll be asking them for an answer percentage. But let us get into the game. Question 1. Which... I thought that bit had played already. Where's Louis? Which country won the 1998 FIFA World Cup? So which country won the 1998 FIFA World Cup? Definitely read this wrong. Thought it said hosted. So which country won the 1998 FIFA World Cup? From both of you, I need answer and percentage, and yeah, we'll get that from you in a minute. For everyone at home, we've averaged your percentages so we can find out what the audience average is. And then at the end of this, afterwards, we'll go through and play a game of who did best overall. So do we have answer, percentage? Answer doesn't matter as much.
I'm ready.
Yep, I'm ready to. I'm also in between writing things down, redeeming what Louise asked of me on the back, but we'll get there
Okay.
in the chat, which is
Oh, right, I hadn't seen that.
yeah.
Draw a picture.
Okay. Let us see your boards. Or pieces of paper. Okay. What have we said, Scott?
France and 75%.
France, 75%. And Kirsty?
I said Germany and 88%.
88%. Right. Well, anyone confident with their answer?
Confident with my
No.
answer. We probably should have gone a bit higher on percentage.
Well, that's probably fair. Scott, you said France, and it was France. Well played.
Because I had the World Cup, France 98 World Cup
Nice.
computer game.
But it is all about the percentages. So let us show you the percentages that people put. Scott said 75%. Kirsty, 88%. I said for this one, 65%.
It's a biggie, but
Yeah.
people know this. I think Kirsty's probably closest at the moment.
Let's go for the actual percentage. So Scott said 75, Kirsty said 88, I said 65, and the actual percentage was 72.1%.
Oh, nice one, Scott.
Means closest currently is Scott, then me, then Kirsty. So it's the audience now.
2.9 away.
We need to find out how it is. The audience went for 72.5. So very close with the audience there. Very, very close. So scores, that means we have got in first place there was the audience with 4 points. Then Scott in second place with 3 points. Myself in third place with 2 points. And Kirsty bring out the rear, but not that far off. That is tight across the board there. So very well played, everyone.
That was
Scott, were you snaked by...
Yeah, I'm annoyed. I thought I had a good.
I thought you had a good as well.
Yeah.
It went in pretty well there. Some pretty decent... Sorry, someone in the in the live chat said 100% for that one. I don't think they put that for their actual answer. They put pretty high though. So
Yeah, you have to say true to the answer you put in the chat.
oh yeah, agreed. But yeah, so well played. 4 points to the audience there. Absolutely smashing it. I'm liking this new new audience way of doing the average. I think it could help them a lot.
Don't think I need it, but anyway.
No, it gets them too close.
We'll see. We shall see.
Wednesday, Goose, you had a little soiree you attended.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
So I, myself and Alice were invited to the garden party at Hollywood Palace, which was, so what's that? A year and a half after I got my my medal for the services over COVID.
British Empire medal.
The British Empire medal. I then got to go to the garden party. I think it's called the Royal Garden Party. I should have taken a photo of the invite, but yeah, it was the Royal Garden Party. So went along, found out some really interesting things there. I have a question. The one thing, we had no concept of how many people would be there. We turned up and we still had no concept of how many people would be. I'm sure we could have researched and found out quite easily. But we had no concept. How many people do you think were at this thing?
Is this okay? Who gets invited?
So again, not completely 100% sure.
Okay.
So I think a lot of the people who have got medals over the last little while, because obviously that's been like 4 or 5 medal rounds that haven't had a garden party. But
It's true. So it might have been a busier one.
Well, I was invited by Big Rod Urquhart, Lord Lieutenant of East Lothian, our friend, our pal.
The one that donned you with your...
The one who struggled in the stirrups.
Yes.
Not the stirrups, is that what they called? No, stirrups. No. What was the thing at the back of his feet?
Yeah, the things that horses with.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah, that's a stirrup, isn't it?
No, the stirrups are the thing you put your foot into in the horse.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Heel spokes.
The heel spoke thing.
Spurs,
exactly. Kept on
yes.
so he couldn't drive in them, so that's why his wife had to come. And his wife basically just spent the whole day being like, well, he can't drive in them, and just like not making like little well, they were all little comments she was just making about it, which was even better. Her being there, it's like, you're fantastic. This is great. So I got invited by his office, effectively, like his through his
branch
lieutenancy.
Okay, nice. I'd say probably 800 people.
Okay.
I can't answer because you've already told me I know.
Oh, did I? So I thought between 700 and 800, 7,000 people were at that.
That's a lot of scones.
So I was like, okay. So when we turned up, they tell you to go to a specific gate with your invite, and that was all. And that's the moment also, because I was wearing my full kilt. You can see some photos. I think we'll post them on the Instagram. We've not done that yet, I don't think. But I wore my full kilt, and it does feel special. So Louis saying it doesn't feel special in the chat, and I think it does feel special. Yeah. But it's the moment where you're like, have I worn the right things? Because there's a really specific list of things you're allowed to wear. You're not meant to wear your medal, which I saw people were wearing, and I was like, idiots. Didn't read their invite properly.
Read it,
But yeah, 7,000 people, 2 huge marquees with like stations for food the whole way along it, and the stations for food were kind of quite like. It was good. It was like they had maybe about 9 different options of little bits of sort of finger food stuff, like sandwiches, and so there was like egg mayo, and there was a cucumber sandwich, and there was a beef and tomato sandwich, and then there was like these scone like bites that had like buttercream and jam in the middle, and it was like perfect amount, and then nice drink. They had 3 types of drink: elderflower, apple, and in my mind, quite an odd thing, frozen mocha. And so
like a frappe sort of thing.
Yeah. And so it was like quite a sort of fruity nice drink, frozen mocha, which I had 2 of, and they were great. And so we went around, and then in the middle of the big sort of area, there's a sort of there's the royal tent where all the royal people get the invites to, and then also the royal guests. So that's like, I think Nicola Sturgeon was there, and some like it looked like some sort of cardinals and people like that. People from like who had like full like proper religious attire on, and so but some people just spent the whole day, and we're there for three hours, the whole time just crowded around this tent. Like, and they weren't that close. You're like a football field away.
Oh, wow.
Like, just trying to get like a photo or a glimpse or anything of the people doing the exact same thing in this tent, which is eating and chatting.
Nicola, who
Like,
are you wearing?
Yeah. It was so odd. I was really like, and so we ended up chatting to one of the Queen's Archers. Really interesting, fascinating people. Queen's Archers is like what do you call it? Not a voluntary role, it's not quite right. I think it is voluntary though, but like it's sort of passed down through the families and you apply for it. So he was wearing I think his grandpa had been a Queen's Archer, as was his dad, as was he, and they have like a feather in their cap, and it's really cool. There's a lot of sort of tradition about it, which I was like, this is really quite cool. Nice. They had two bands, sort of marquees either side of the grass, and when one band was playing, they put a flag up beside their marquee. And then when they stopped playing, the other band would put their flag up and start playing. It's like, this is fantastic.
Nice.
Like, raised their flag. Not like someone just held a flag up.
Right.
They had an actual flagpole beside the marquee. And then the conductor would go over to it, raise their flag, and then they'd start playing. And it was like, fantastic. It was so much fun.
Yeah, band t-shirts are old. Band flags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Here we go. Well, I've got a couple of questions that came in on Instagram.
Yes.
Which you've answered.
Oh, sorry.
A few off already. For example, what was the spread like? He said delicious little scone bites and frozen mockers. Nice.
Were there any vegan options for those
Ooh,
sandwiches?
Good question.
That's
I don't
my.
know, actually.
I'm just interested.
I tell you what, the whole part of because I should have counted, but there was two very long marquees, sort of in an L shape, and I would say each one had about, let me think, there's about 5 in the thing, and there's probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was probably about 50 serving stations,
wow.
if not more, and all of them had every option, and a person standing behind them, and a whole like. If you go to I know it's just Murrayfield. If you go and get drinks at Murrayfield, there's almost like a table where you get served, and there's about a whole army of people in behind who get just everything like ready. Yeah, exactly. It was like that, and I mean, there was an army of people in behind, and then there was people at the front who had radios, and they were like running around telling people where to go. It was like a military. I mean, it probably was military, but military operation, and everyone was very friendly. It was nice, although it's quite odd. You don't talk to that many people. It sounds odd, but like you don't. Okay. It's kind of
just keep to yourself.
Kind of a little bit. Some people you're clearly in groups, but you don't do that much like mingling.
Oh, hi. What are you here for?
I was also. We were definitely on the lower age range there.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, by far. Like we felt, because I know that even for a BEM, I'm in the low region of age for it. So I was quite aware that I would probably be a bit younger than a lot of people, but it definitely felt like. But the great thing was looking at the outfits. Let's face it, we were there for the outfits. We're fashionable people. Both Alice and I, super fashionable, and we just basically we're playing top trumps with outfits. It was like you saw someone. Oh, I saw this lad with like a kilt with. It was like a red and yellow patterned kilt with a tweed jacket that had like a similar red and yellow stripe pattern on it, but it was like pinstripe. Fancy. And I was like, I know, Kirsty, but it went. Like, it properly went. He had socks that all, like, set off as well. And I saw him a couple of times, and I was like, winner. He has won the day of this outfit.
So who that was.
Yeah, I was like, I really want to run up to him and be like, please tell me who you're wearing.
Sign my...
Yeah.
Well, some of the other questions, did you meet anyone notable? Royals, you said they were in a separate tent.
They're in a very
met the
separate area.
Queen's,
I met the Archer, that was really
Archer.
interesting.
What was the spread like? Did they solely serve Pims?
So, there was no alcohol served.
Dry garden party.
Dry garden party, which I think has been dry for quite a few years. But then I did think about it. 7,000 people, even organising that just naturally would be tough. But imagine 7,000 maybe slightly drunk people, even slightly tipsy people would be a nightmare. Like,
Yeah, it would be hell.
logistical nightmare on
Stomping up
that.
the Royal Mile.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
awful. So I totally understood it. I was very tempted to take a hip flask, but then you had to take 2 forms of ID to get in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like, it was, obviously, it was
What'd you
it was the police that did it.
Electricity bill.
You know what the worst thing is? I took an American Express bill that was them charging me something extra because I hadn't paid on time. So it was like, here's this. Am I allowed in if I'm in debt?
Can anyone write this off?
Is this something I'm allowed to bring here? Because I don't really get bills anymore. I don't really get anything electronic. I get everything electronically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's paperless, isn't it? It's like, oh.
I did, but I was tempted to bring a hip flask, and Alice told me not to, and I was like, fair enough.
What are you gonna do? Take away your reward? Maybe.
Potentially.
Actually,
if there's going to be a place that you get a reward taken away from you, it's like, oh, because you, like, I don't know, peed on some, like,
Slap on the
special... Because that's this kind of place where it's like, oh, but that bush was given to the Queen by, whoever. And you're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
So probably shouldn't have peed on it then. Like,
So sorry about it. 6,999 people watching.
yeah.
Send us a selfie of you and the Queen.
She was in Hollywood Palace, I believe, when I was there, but she wasn't actually at the garden party. It was Charles and Camilla that were there, and then also there was another part of the royal family. I couldn't quite remember who it was.
Okay. And then the other one, what'd you wear? You went through that, and what was the party for? Went through that as well.
Yeah. One other cool thing that we did, so we went for dinner. I have to give a big shout out to Rollo. It was very nice on Broughton Street. We went there for dinner in the evening. And they were really lovely. They were really, really nice to us because they asked us what we were all dressed up for, and we were like, "Oh, this," and they were saying congratulations for the medal.
What do you mean dressed up? This is how we are.
This is how we always dinner. This is how we always dine. And then we saw. Have you ever seen the royals being taken around by the police escort? It's like big black Range Rovers, like huge. It feels like, when you see a Range Rover, you're like, oh, that's a big Range Rover, and then you see a proper big Range Rover, you're like, that's a massive Range Rover. 2 police. 2 sets of police motorcycles and like big Range Rover police cars firing along all at like absolute top speed. It's crazy. And so they went down past us at Rollo, and there's 3 sets of them went past. We don't know who it all was, but it was really interesting to see like just how fast they were going. Like down a street, I would be like terrified to go really over 30 on.
Yeah.
It was like they were going at like what felt like 60
It's
down
not
the
a
street.
long road.
No, I was like, goodness me, what do they think is going to happen? But I suppose what they could think has happened is the worst, and the best thing to do is not be there. So
That's fair.
no, it was an interesting day altogether. Really enjoyed it, and I was very honoured to be invited. So
Do you think for events like that, I have no idea about events, but with like catering, do you think they would have had like one of each, at least for each person, like 7,000 little scones, 7,000 little cucumber sandwiches?
I went round twice, like quite comfortably, and I think they over cater, but they'll definitely do something with the leftovers of it because there's no way they would.
I mean, the worst thing would be for them to run out of food. They'll
Exactly.
definitely over cater.
I think they'll over cater and they'll donate the food to charities afterwards because they'll have it all set up for that. But I mean, the food was very good. It had little sort of salmon roll things that were very good, and it was like I was just impressed with the whole thing. It was quite nicely simple without being like basic. It felt elegant, but it didn't feel like over the top. And the music was nice. Like they did. Like at one point they were playing the Pirates of the Caribbean medley and just playing that, and it was like, this is great. Like this is great fun. So no, I really did enjoy it.
I'm glad. Well deserved. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Glad you had a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, people, we're on to question number 2. Question number 2. Finish off this line from Shakespeare. Cry havoc and let slip the what? So I need a percentage from everyone and an answer from you two. So finish off this line from Shakespeare. Cry havoc and let slip the what? So if you already filled in your sheet, you can write it into the Twitch chat. If you're watching live on Twitch, if you're at home and you've done it as well, you can shout out what you think you said. And if you've never done it before or you've had no interaction with it, you can go to the percentage link and get it filled in for next week. Oh, we've got your... this is amazing.
It doesn't look so much like a lightsaber, though. So I was supposed to draw Scott as a Jedi, and it looks more like a baseball bat.
I mean, maybe that's Scott's
Amazing.
version of a lightsaber. It's fine.
Incredible. Can you please send me a picture of that?
Yeah,
after this?
can we get a good
Absolutely.
photo of that? That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll scan it in.
So,
And also, just so we're all aware, Louis has now also redeemed plus 5% to Scott's guess.
oh, right. Oh, already? Oh, we should have said that. Okay. No, Scott, you don't get to
He's-
change now.
He's on a redeeming spree.
Redemption.
I'm going to put what I was going to put just in the spirit of the game.
Fair. That is fair. I think that's fair. Okay, have we got percentage and answers from everyone?
Really regret putting it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Show me your percentage and answers. Right. Okay, Kirsty, I'll let you go first.
I said Dogs of War and 70%.
70%. And Scott,
I said Dogs of War and 80%, which makes it 85%.
80%, which now is 85%.
Don't like that.
We could have changed it, but, fair enough.
Cry Havoc and Let's Spill the Dogs of War.
Well, I'll let you know, we're both correct. It is, of course, Dogs of War. Cry Havoc and Let Us Slip the Dogs of War.
Oh!
Oh,
My
nice.
pen's leaking, so my picture of my little dog is very smudged.
Scott drew a picture of a dog over the O on dogs, which is very creative of him.
It is.
Well, I don't give extra points for that, but well played. Right, let us show those guesses. So we've got 85 for Scott, 70% for Kirsty, and I also said 85 for this one. So we
Ooh.
I
have
got a natural 85 there.
a real 85. The actual percentage here, so we've got 70 from Kirsty, 85 from both Scott and myself. The actual percentage was 56.5%, which in my mind is low. Which
Yeah.
low.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I should have. The things that people write, I can remember some of them, but it's just like, it's not the answer.
So that means that Scott and I are on 85%, which is the furthest away at the moment, and Kirsty's on 70, which is the closest at the moment, but a fair margin there between Kirsty's 70% and the actual 56.5%. But let us get the audience percentage. The audience percentage was 51.9%. 51.9%. So that means that audience is closest and it is in first. Kirsty's in second, and then Scott and I take a casual third after that. So
I don't think there's any beating them anymore.
Too good.
I think they are good. I think
Audience
I've maybe
is good.
supercharged them a little bit too much. But you know what? That's the way that maths works.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. Right, so I'll show you the points as well. The points there. So 1 point to both Scott and I. We both got 1 point. 3 points goes to Kirsty because we share, which means we get lower. And then, once again, audience and 4 points. Smashing
Wow.
it. 4
Wow.
points. People doing very, very well.
Yeah, bash them out.
So good job.
Don't like it.
Right, people. I have something to talk about, which, so we don't like, how am I going to preface this? What I sometimes do is I go around and I check our Google reviews on our venues to see how the quiz is being reviewed.
Quality control.
Exactly. And so we just check if the quiz is doing well at the venue in the reviews, and some venues of ours, their top mentioned thing in the reviews is quiz night, which is great. So it means that the thing that people review and stands out in the reviews is quiz night. You can go to their venue and you see in the Google reviews, it says, like, what do people mention? And one of the things people mention is things like, the fish and chips are great, and it'll say fish and chips, or, the seating's really nice, whatever.
Like tags.
Yeah, exactly. And one of them is quiz night. So this place has this tag. So I'm not going to say where it is. I'm not going to say who said this. But it's public domain, this. We're allowed to read this out. This is the review that I found. I sent this through to the team already, and we had a right chuckle at it, so we thought you'd all like it. 1 star. This was 7 months ago, which could have been you running it.
Well, that narrows it down.
No,
I cover
no.
a lot of quizzes.
Yeah, you cover loads. I could figure it out. I'm sure it can work out.
Do the math. Don't give the exact date.
I don't think it says it.
Good.
1 star out of 5. We were told off by customers and staff for being, quote, too loud. However, we weren't told there was a quiz on when we arrived.
Secret quiz.
We were just talking at a normal decibel for a pub, and the waitress told us to get out. We were told to shush and sworn at by a customer, but the waitress never told her off whatsoever. Shocking customer service. Avoid at all costs.
Wow. What an experience.
Now, just to preface this, this is potentially one of our busiest quizzes in the week. And to get a table there, you have to book way in advance. It's funny that it is that juxtaposition of a place that is potentially the busiest for the quiz you could get, and someone being told off being too loud.
And not knowing there's a quiz on.
And not knowing there's a quiz on. There's a number of things in that review which
Being
really
told
makes...
off by a customer. Hilarious.
Being told off by a customer. I also enjoy the quotes, shush.
Shush.
We were told,
Specifically quoted shush.
yeah, we were told to shush. Which...
Wished.
and we're all sort of, we've all decided that this is definitely someone that speaks like a foghorn. Like they think I enjoy. We've talked about this so many times. Talking a normal decibel for a pub, which
What does that mean?
normal decibel for a pub is whatever the setting of the pub is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in, it's a flexible volume. Obviously, if it's loud, you talk louder.
So the people in the immediate vicinity can hear you.
Yeah, but you know what was going on there. Like you all have an image. I mean, they wouldn't get into the percentage game. That's all I was saying, because they couldn't just sit inside the percentage game and start talking like that.
What's that? Midori. Midori.
A melon ball. Shush.
This is the person that they're screaming in their face.
So yeah, that's the kind of reviews we love seeing. The only other work, I mean, that's not actually directly at us. That's just one of our venues.
But what I would much rather see is if people want to go and review us, if you've ever done a quiz. If you want to go and review Quiz's quizzes.
I'd love to see.
Please do that.
I'd love to see reviews that are like to the minute details of hilarious things.
Yes.
I love seeing a way too specific review, because you're like, that's giving no context for me in the future. That's giving extremely limited context for what the situation. It's like the salt on my chips was too salty. It's like, that isn't a thing. Like,
And if I don't order chips, does that mean that I'm going to have a bad time?
yeah.
Or...
3 stars.
I find it so hard to go by reviews. Like,
Agreed.
unless it's, I don't know.
Have you seen that review for the bar when it's like, fought here and won, would visit again, 2 stars?
Jesus.
2 stars. Brutal.
Yeah.
People go, 0 stars, wasn't open. It's like,
Yeah, 0 stars wasn't open is brutal.
haven't been here, but
That's
don't
like,
do that.
there's so many. The best review we've ever got, and this is just a quick one, was years and years ago on our Facebook, and it's still why we don't have a full star rating on our Facebook. Is we've got 70 reviews on our Facebook, and
you could be 71.
you could be the 71, and we got a 1-star review which literally just said this no Quizez, which was spelled QI. What did they spell?
Quizez.
I don't think they spell it QU. Did they?
It was just one Z.
It was Quizez. It was, yeah.
Quizez.
No Quizez.
Quizez.
That was it. No Quizez. Like, it was some person from the middle of America somewhere, and they were too young for Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like, is that?
It's like a 15-year-old.
Have you pranked us here? Is that what pranks are now?
Got us.
So yeah, it really got us, but it makes you laugh every time. No Quizez.
No quizzes.
No quizzes.
But yeah, if
Only
you wanna go
quizzes.
just quizzes. No quiz. I was expecting a quizzes.
A Quizez.
But yeah, if you can and you want to go and either, I mean, if you've been to an IRL quiz or if you just enjoy the online stuff we do, please rate and review.
Rate and review.
Rate and review.
Smash that bell.
Would love that. And go, please be as specific as possible.
Oh,
Mention the time Goose stood up twice.
or if you want to say about Closeby.
Yeah.
Write it from Closeby.
Chuck
We
some
only
jokes
take reviews from if you're based in Closeby.
Yeah. Change your geographical location.
And then if anyone puts a bad review, it's like, oh look, they're not based in Closeby, so like, why would we? They're not even close by. Okay, question 3. Can you take down the might of the audience? Question 3. What term is used for a positive number that is equal to the sum of its positive divisors? Now, just need the percentage and an answer from you guys, but everyone else, percentage is all. So question 3, what term is used for a positive number that is equal to the sum of its positive divisors? It took me longer than I care to admit to understand this question. I assume you're going to edit all this out. In the, you know,
the words are really.
Usually do.
Do we have percentages and answers from everyone?
I'm not confident here. Yes, I have one.
Okay, we've got a few in the live stream coming in as well. Love that picture. Let us see your board. Did you want to go? Okay, we'll go for Scott first.
I said perfect and 71%.
71. And Kirsty?
I said square root and 67. Again, I went to art school.
Didn't do number school.
Didn't notice from that wizard you drew. The answer to that question was perfect numbers. They are perfect numbers, which I didn't know. That was the term for a positive number that is equal to the sum of its positive divisors.
I couldn't work out what the question actually meant.
So that would be 2, 6, and 12. 12 is a perfect number. Is that right? Equal to the... No, that's not the sum of its positive divisors. That's not right. Bad.
Oh, so... Oh, wait, what?
Or divisible... Oh, it's numbers that are divisible into it. And so 4... Yeah, 12 is one. 4, 2, and 6 are divisible into 12, and they're the only positive divisors into 12. And yeah, that makes sense.
Someone who knows like a real
12 is a perfect number. That's all I'm saying. Let us show what percentage everyone wrote. Scott wrote 71%, Kirsty on 67%, and I wrote 30% for this one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah.
Because I had no idea about it, and I think I quite like maths and such things like that. So, yeah. I mean, thank you for my terrified how high you've gone and how low I went. Terrifies me. The actual percentage, let us go. So, Scott said 71, Kirsty said 67, I said 30. The actual percentage is 33%.
Oh, hey.
Am I a genius?
Looking good.
I want to be a genius.
Looking good. 33% is the actual percentage, so that's currently making me closest, then Kirsty, then Scott. Kirsty's on 67%, Scott's on 71%. The actual is 33, but we need the audience guess. Can they snake that 3% difference between me and the actual percentage? It is the audience average came out at 52.8%.
Oh.
So that puts them at second, me in first, Kirsty in third, and Scott in fourth. Kirsty and Scott, you went fairly high there, but the audience went fairly high as well there. That was a high guesses for, I think, what people struggle with as a question. The scores there are as follows. So, fourth place, Scott, 1 point, Kirsty on 2 points, the audience on 3 points that one, and I won that one with 30% for 4 points. So, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Very nice.
Tough. That's a tough one.
Do you mind if we take a very quick break?
Heck yeah, we can.
Thank you very much.
Let's find out. It is 48.5.
What?
And we're back.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all excited for some fan theories.
That was so gentle until the fan theories part, lulling me into a false sense of security.
I thought you'd got a bad message during the break or something.
What I need you to do is, for my fan theory, which I came up with after the garden party, went out for dinner, had a few bottles of wine, was sitting, getting quite excited, just chilling out.
Went down some dark rabbit holes.
Felt very pleased with myself. It was about midnight, and I came up with this brilliant fan theory, which was I have to explain it. So first off, I need people to see who this is, which is worth a follow, by the way. They're called Michael. They're from Germany. They do trick shots with everything you can imagine. You might have seen videos of his already. He did a really good one recently. He usually does them inside, but he did a really good one where it was like buckets with huge Swiss balls that you had to like throw into. You had to try and kick into a bucket. It was crazy. So he does some really, really impressive ones. It's fun just to watch. It's a bit of an easy watching thing. So I suddenly was watching it, and what I need everyone else to understand and have a relation to is the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Have you seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah.
This guy looks like Jason Segel. And all I think is, this is the bit. So in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, after when he is trying to forget Sarah Marshall and he's going through the bad breakup phase, he's in his house, and it shows clip reels of him kind of doing like nonsense, like playing piano and running around his house and doing stupid shit, basically. In my mind, this is him just doing all these trick shots in that time. So that is my fan theory. Check that Instagram out. It's the bit between Forgetting Sarah Marshall, when the character of Jason Segel is then sort of losing his mind a bit.
So he's doing all that, like singing songs about the Dracula play.
Yeah,
and
he's doing a puppet rock opera, and eating very crispy cereal, and then also doing all these trick shots.
right,
One of my favorite things about this guy's Instagram is that every single still is like,
it's him doing this. Yeah. At the end, he always says, okay. Like, whenever he shows what he's going to do, he goes, okay.
pretty okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a really interesting guy, but I reckon it's him. That's all I'm saying. Fan theory. That's my... I don't know. Maybe it's not a fan theory. It's more of like this could be... Yeah.
you've just written some Forgetting Sarah Marshall fanfic is what you've done, really.
That's it. Yes, that's basically what I've done. Yeah, I'm aware. that is effectively exactly it.
Interesting. I'd like to see you Forgetting Sarah Marshall too, when he goes and does all these trick shots in a row.
The AO3 tags are just like Heartfic, tag, Heartfic, trick shot,
sideways P symbol.
yeah. For a really specific certain person looking for that.
Interesting. He does quite look like him though.
He does.
Yeah.
I think he does. If you were to... There's some moments... I think in video he looks more like him than just in stills.
In stills. There are some stills where I can see it a lot,
Yeah.
and some stills where I don't see it as much.
I think he's got quite a similar way of like... Just the way he moves, I think he looks like Jason Segel, especially when he gets frustrated. Because there's an amount of times where, like, obviously he gets really close and you just see him go, like really proper, like big. But it is interesting. He does some really. Also, it's quite creative, the trick shots he does, which I quite like. Because I know a lot of people are doing trick shots. Obviously, they had a lot of time in lockdown and then decided to do trick shots. But I like his trick shot channel because I think there's a lot which are very interesting. So just to be clear, sorry for the people at home who are in the recording and don't see the link that I put into the Twitch. It's JJinHo81. If you search that on Instagram, he's on TikTok as well. He's massive on TikTok. He's got 3.8 million followers on TikTok.
We'll put a link in
Wow.
the bio.
JJinHo81.
So how do you get invited to the garden party? So I do this thing on the internet.
I mean, I was terrified people would ask me why I was there.
That's fine.
No, I mean,
I think it's a fun and good reason.
I hope it is, because what I don't want people to feel is that their invite is lessened by the fact that I'm there.
No.
Because I feel very proud of the award that I've got, but I do also understand it's a very odd one.
I get it.
It's an odd one, It's not like people winning awards for doing. Not that I'm saying I want people to tell me that it was good. What I really mean is, I just find it odd. It's an odd thing.
Tis fine. Just bask in the glow.
Thank you.
And everyone at home send in your best fan fictions, like the Avril Lavigne one.
I want to know that.
Sorry, you can continue.
You get
saying
50 of the Avril Lavigne ones. Okay, on to question 4. Question 4. Genuinely no idea about this question. Question 4. In what country would you find the headquarters of the fashion brand Zara? So question 4. In which country would you find the headquarters of the fashion brand Zara? Yes. I really, really struggled with this. I flip-flopped between it being super obvious and I had no idea. Just to let you know.
Yeah, this is a tough percentage.
Oh, right. So someone's redeemed the plus 5%, and that's on me. So I can tell you my percentage that's written down here, but I'll obviously add 5% to it. I can do it on screen for you, so you can definitely see what happens.
Is this obvious?
I don't know, but I need an answer percentage from everyone. How are you getting on? So the question we're answering is, in what country would you find the headquarters of the fashion brand Zara? I need your answers and percentages. Do we have them?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
I know we've moved off the topic of fan theories and fan fiction, but the best fan fiction of all time was is My Immortal, the kind of the Harry Potter vampire fan fiction that is the most terribly written piece of anything in the English language. But also the lead singer of Evanescence, who wrote the song My Immortal, has read it.
Love it.
So
Amazing. Amazing.
Okay. Are we all happy?
We'll see.
Right. So, show me those boards. Okay, I'll let Kirsty go first on this one.
I said Spain, 69.
And Scott?
I said Spain, 81.
You said España.
España.
So the actual answer is Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So well played.
Thank you.
But let us see what everyone guessed. So Scott said 81. Kirsty said 69, the classic. And I said 59 originally, but I have had 5% added. Is that right? Can we just double check that it's 5% added?
Yep.
5% added. Someone redeemed it. So 5% added would be to 64. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
64 now. On my... Wish you'd minused it. All right, well. Let us see what the actual percentage is now. So, just to recap, Scott's on 81%, Kirsty's 69, I'm on 64%. The actual percentage was 68.3. 68.3. So, pretty tight. I'd say pretty tight.
I mean, that's nice.
That's nice.
68.3. So very close to where Kirsty's at on 69%. Let us see what the audience went for. The audience went for 63.9, which feels very nice for me because I snaked them by 0.1% on this one. So to the audience. So let's go through. So that means the audience is in third place, Scott's in fourth place. Kirsty, first place, smashing that one. 69 to 68.3% is 0.7% away. And then I was second place in that one. So I'll give you the points rundown there as well. That is 1 point to Scott, 2 points to the audience, 3 points to me, and 4 points to Kirsty. Understanding Zara. And
that's the first time we've seen the +5 from the audience go in the favor of the person doing it as well.
I would have been in third there if it wasn't for it. So
I think it was an unintentional helping hand.
Thank you, Hendrixology, who helped me out there. And the best thing about that is I know he'll have hated that the most. Like that'll have really soured his day. So
that's the gamble that you got to take.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Right. So let us move on. Are we straight on to the last question?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, question 5. Big tension. Here it is. I don't know what the scores are like at the moment, but it could be tight. So, question 5. Which fictional family live at 742 Evergreen Terrace? So, which fictional family lives at 742 Evergreen Terrace? That is question 5 in this. The percentage game. As you always know, the answer doesn't matter. It's how many people you think knew the answer. What percentage of our teams knew the answer? We've asked most of these to a few thousand teams, definitely a few thousand players. But we need you to tell us what percentage of them knew each question. Good to have explained that in the 5th round. Big questions.
Well, better late than never.
Am I off next Friday? Is it me next? Am I off next Friday? I can't remember.
You're off now. I can smell you from here.
Oh. Rude.
I think so, yeah.
So I'm looking for someone to step up for the intro next week. I'm excited to hear how it goes. I'll be tuning in, booing the whole way through. Right, so where are we? Have people redeemed things?
No.
No. Okay. Let us see your boards and percentages and your answers and such. Okay. We have Kirsty, what have you said?
Flanders, 54%.
54%. And Scott?
Flanders,
Yes.
64%.
64%. Did you say 54%, Kirsty?
I did, yeah.
Ooh. Right, so 64 for Scott, 54 for Kirsty. Let us see the actual answer. You both said Flanders, this is.
You're not going to
Yeah.
pick yours up?
Mine up.
Yeah.
Oh, and my percentage is already in.
Oh, okay.
Already loaded.
Sorry.
The answer was The Simpsons live at 742 Evergreen Terrace.
Oh, no.
Oh,
We
no.
misremembered.
Why do we have both of those questions?
We definitely do have both those questions. Yeah, so The Simpsons is the answer there. Anyone feeling like the percentage might not be right
Yeah.
now?
Louis absolutely, in fury. Well, no, he's not even
played
furious,
us.
is he? He just said ha.
Play this.
A single ha in the chat.
So let's show those percentages.
Well,
Scott,
I'm coming last.
on 64%, Kirsty 54%, and I said 88% because I didn't even think about the other question. I didn't even think about that we had a trick question at one point.
Not a trick question.
It's not a trick question. It's just
No.
it's just an actual question. But I didn't even think about it, and now you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I should have thought about that because now I'm actually really nervous.
I think you've gone too low.
I've been hiding the percentages, by the way, from myself, so I don't know how I'm doing. So it's only when I press it that I get to see it. So that is our percentages: 64 for Scott, 54 for Kirsty, 88 for me, and the actual percentage came out at 87.8%. So that puts me at 0.2 away from the percentage here. Thank you, everyone. I think that's pretty unsnakeable, I would say.
That's nuts.
But you know what? Pride comes before a fall, and I'm pretty nervous now. I don't know why I went so big there. I was like, yeah, and I know what happens. It's just like
working
it's
for you.
awful. Right. So currently, it's looking like me that's closest, then Scott, then Kirsty. But let's see what the audience said, and they could do well here. The audience said 78.7, which puts them second closest, just after me, which is at 88%, closest to 87.8%. Then Scott, then Kirsty. So let's get those points up on the screen. And for you at home, I'll read them out. It is 1 point to Kirsty, 2 points to Scott, 3 points to the audience, and 4 points to me. So it is... I don't know.
You've had a couple of big hitters, though.
Big hitters at the end, I feel like,
Yeah.
went well. But
Yeah.
I think I was a pretty okay performance across. How do you think you got on, Scott?
Bad. I think I went all right in the first one. but it was
Kirsty.
just, no, bad.
I was either like last or first.
Right.
So
Well,
I mean, this
yeah,
could
if
be
you're
a
not
huge.
first, you're last.
This could be a big tie. This feels like a kind of week where it could be a huge tie. No,
I'll take that,
maybe-
I'll take that over just doing terribly.
maybe
Just
you three.
doing terribly.
No.
Okay, well, let us do some scores. Now, remember, if you're not listening to this live, what we do is we go through everyone's scores at the end and we put everyone against everyone. So you get to see the full list, and we'll go over that in the live stream after this. But for the recording right now, the bonus content is for the live streamers afterwards. So you can come and see that if you want to. You just get involved. We start at 3:30 on Friday afternoons, and we'll be here usually around about, just after 5. We'll be starting doing the actual full list of scores. But right now, we'll just go through the percentage of game scores, and the percentage of game scores is just us against each other and then the audience average. So let's go on to the final scores. We need a tune for that. Just to put in, we need a tune for that.
Just clip that bit and use that.
Yeah, I think you might.
4th place. So do you want to know how the scores go? They go 8 points, 11 points, 14 points, and 16 points. So 8
Oh, so not as close as we thought.
points. 4th place is Scott. Very well played. Very well played, Scott.
Thanks.
Twitch Daddy, doing very well. Then in 3rd place with 11 points is Kirsty. Very well played, Kirsty.
It's those last places. They got me.
Then 2nd place with 14 points was myself. 14 points. Thank you, everyone. But that means winning again is 1st place with 16 points is the audience. Very well played, the audience.
Well
Yeah.
done.
I might have supercharged the audience. This might be a problem.
Yeah.
I've made a formula for the audience that makes them almost unbeatable, which I like. I'd rather have an audience that's almost unbeatable than it be too easy for us to just walk this. So
That's true.
if you're going to beat the audience, you have to come and bring your A game. That's what I'm saying. Taking on the audience is a tough feat, and that's how it should be. So very well played, audience. I think you all deserve this. What we'll do now is we'll finish up the live stream, we'll finish up the recording, and we will be back in a minute with some more news of how things have gone. But for now, thank you very much. We'll say final remarks. Any final remarks from you, Kirsty?
No.
That's fair. Sorry, I should say quick draw.
That was a slow draw as an answer there.
Maybe quick draw is like sarcastic.
Yeah. But goodbye is my typical.
That's fair. That's fair. And Scott?
Nah, look, I didn't do well, but the audience did very well. So
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
That's fair.
that's all right. That's all right. You can't be upset losing to that. So
And I'll say, I liked our new format as well today. I liked being able to play along a little bit as well, because it was nice to have a bit of a, what's the word? A hat in the ring, you know? That was fun. Excellent.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
Well, excellent, everyone. We'll see you all again next Friday with some more quizzical action. If you're listening along at home, remember, get involved. We want you to get involved in the percentage game. It doesn't matter what week you are, but you can be involved. Have yourself a lovely week, and we'll see you all again later. Half the teams know that. That's ridiculous.